G'day mate and welcome back to Capital History with me, Jenny. In our last episode, we went through the madness that is microchips, and we also got chicken meat up and running. So now that we have a manifold of microchips up and running, that obviously means we need to get into electronics number 3. If I can start mass producing electronics number 3, that means we can get to the next tier of science. The final tier of science, short of space science. Before we get into the depths of today's plan, I do want to ask you that very important question. Of course, the important question being, can I borrow a like? I just like to borrow a like. I like to borrow a like early in the video. Not happy with the video, didn't enjoy the video, then I'll tell you what, you can definitely have your like back. But I do warn you, I did clean up this bridge, I did untangle all the spaghetti. It did take about 20 minutes, and if you have your like back, I'm going to have to be forced to add a little bit of spaghetti with your name on it. First thing I want to do is I want to get electronics 3 up and running, which means we need to take our microchips, which are being mass produced over here, and I need to take them and I need to do something with them. And that is run them through a row of assemblers and turn them into the wonderful electronics 3. As this is, setting up another pile of assemblers is something we've done 1,000 times, I've taken the liberty of, just throwing this together. So we're going to plug these together. We're going to have the trucks come along and build this lot, and then we need to get in our 2 imports. One of them being, of course, the microchips, the other one being electronics 2. Microchips we're going to take from here, and definitely the truck is going to get stuck in this mayhem. Can I come to... actually here and then straight across? Yep. And can I have that belt come in on the bottom? There to there to there. Yep. Nope, one more top. One more top. Perfect. All right, can I plug that in there? On top of that, I also need to bring in electronics number 2. Electronics number 2 are right here, and of course it didn't plug in. Never does. Can I move you back a tile? Cool. Can I get electronics 2 heading out this way on this belt, which I've already pre-run under the bridge? And then all I need to do is I need to put in a flat lift, which is going to be there at height 3, whatever that is. And you are going to do, actually, I'm going to go from this end to this end. Perfect. Can I plug that in there? Cool. That's all we need to do to get our electronics and our microchips imported, and therefore, our electronics 2 and our microchips imported to start making electronics 3. Cool. That should be it. God, that's a lot of complaints already. All right, so that is step number 1. Now, step number 2 is we turn electronics 3 into a number of things. The biggest thing is going to be servers. That's probably the biggest thing we're going to be producing right now. So what I want to do is I want to take this whole shebang, move it over top, change the recipe from U servers to that one, and let me find the other recipe and turn it off. Yep, cool. Can I copy that? Paste that to all your friends, and you guys will be ready configured for servers. Can I have that be cancelled? And all I want to do is have this be built. Actually, I won't need the bottom belts. Yeah. Okay, so to get our electronics 3, we're going to just take them out here and run them around the corner and straight into this belt. That makes life really easy, and we can build those 3. And then our other import is going to be servers. Can I pause you 3 because I don't need you running just yet. Our other import for servers is steel. So steel, I have taken the liberty of building this belt, which hooks all the way back into our main steel line and brings things through to here. All I should have to do is get a, nope, that's a U-shaped lift, flat lift. Can I bring that up to here, probably? Okay, flip you, and can I run you into, well, you don't have to be that tall. You don't have to be that tall. Can you come a little bit shorter? Up one tile. Yep. Can I have this plug into... I'm going to go stay at height 1 till I get to here. Yep, and I can go straight in there. God, that's a lot of plates. Yeah, I think I need more fuel trucks. Alright, so that should be steel being imported as well. Therefore, we should be able to make servers. And I just need a big box to put all the servers in. Alright, so that should be that done. That should be servers taken care of. That should be steel on its way. Here it is. And then we get to talk about a few other things. All right, first thing I want to mention is I put in another bridge here because I had to, I was going to rearrange all the belts we had wrapping around the front here. So I decided it's just easy to take them straight to here, put in a bridge, and then promptly put in a second bridge. The second bridge is to make sure that we can get our exhaust across. Also, I need to bring hydrogen back. Also, I have 3 new belts that are actually going to be heading over there. And that is because I decided, as I mentioned, to go and build our silicon over here instead. So what I want to do is I want to get the very first at least a pair of smelters up and running. Can I get that up and running? Can I get the box up and running? Okay. Then I wanted to go and replace our old lines. So I need to have us start exporting poly there. Can I also export through there? Can I flip you? And can I flip you? Cool. That's going to be what I want to do. And I do think, yes, you're not connected because you are backward. Cool. I want to have that done. Now, other thing I do want to do is, well, actually, a couple of things. First thing is I want to disconnect this sand and this sand because I want to dry these two out and turn them off. And the other thing I need to do is I want to start bringing in our graphite from this side. So can I get the graphite belt built, please? Thank you, thank you, thank you, and thank you. And then can I get this built? All right, over here, we have a giant box. Giant box that has two limits on it. One, it is, please bring me all the graphite possible. Because we make graphite in a number of places. We make graphite up at food processing because, well, we have CO2 there that we're trying to get rid of. Also, I have a receipt from belts if only under 2,000. Because right here at the oil refinery, we also make graphite. But we have two recipes here. One, which is essentially free, is just processing some of the local CO2 straight to graphite. And the other one, which I technically pay for. I don't want to run this recipe if I can avoid it. And I also don't want to have two chem plants set up, one with the free recipe and one with the not free recipe. So our plan is we're going to be able to fill this little buffer box. The little buffer box can export to here. And if this gets to 2,000, I actually stop importing from the buffer box. And then therefore, if I have extra belt flipping, extra one tile. If I have any extra graphite made in the other locations, they can be brought in. I do need to go check the one at the Great Poopinator because I think that one might actually not be running because I don't actually remember building it since I unlocked chem plants too. Okay, can I get that done? Can I get that done? Can I have that flow through there? You are outputting, yes. Can I have those belts upgraded next here because we're gonna have a higher need for poly in the future. And you are just waiting for graphite, which is getting here slowly. Can I set you to be silicon poly? Thank you very much. And that'll automatically set an alert on it. And then the only other thing I want to do is, well, I want to delete this. I don't need this running anymore, so we're going to get rid of you. We're going to get rid of you and the hydrogen pipe and even that belt. Yep, the trucks can just put everything in this box instead and can flow out from this direction. And that should be that done. All right, so as I was saying, we are making graphite up here. And I need to make sure that can export. So if we have extra CO2 in, well, the food area, I need to make sure that has somewhere to go. And now that we have a box here that's going to be mostly full from the belt, but not completely full, I should always be able to shove the new graphite in and then in theory use that. On top of that, over at food production, here, you're definitely not built. Can I have that built, please? And then you're going to have to be upgraded. Okay. We can talk about all those in just a second. Can I upgrade you, please? Pay for, and then I can set the recipe, and then we can go through. Okay. We don't care about electronics 3 because we just built that. I don't care about surface because I just built that. I don't care about poly because I just built that. We don't care about uranium ore, except I really don't care. So you can now tell me if you're empty. Otherwise, go away. Okay, you guys are just stuck. Recover, recover, and recover. And can I have... You've done the dig job. Okay, can I have that filled in? Therefore, you shouldn't be able to get stuck again. No, you're done. Tommy Rockets has no fuel. Yeah, we're at the far end of the map. And no trees to harvest. I don't know how you say that, because I have trees everywhere. I need to look at that again sometime in the future. Alright, so... did I set that recipe? Okay, can I set the recipe? Can I have this recipe? Okay, because right here we do have fuel gas we're burning off. Also, I have the exhaust scrubber that's also outputting CO2. So obviously I want to get that processed and turned into graphite, which I can then export across to the new graphite area. Next one I want to talk about is water resource getting low. My plan is to have water resources getting low or even running out all the time, because it's actually easier for me to pump the water from the ground, obviously, compared to looking at some sort of desalination and make new water. So I expect these messages on forever. What I will do is I will turn off one of these guys, because ideally I want it to run out. I really want it to run out or become very, very close to zero before it rains again. That's really the plan. And I have no idea whether that's a 2-pump situation, a 3-pump situation, a 4-pump situation. So it's just a case of run it and then find out. All right. Water resource getting low. That's one we just talked about. Fertilizer, we don't care. You got stuck as well. Okay. Can we not just fill things in properly, like left to right, so you guys retain access? All right. So that should be you making poly. It is. Cool. I have 53 workers. That's probably enough. Can I turn on a... No. Okay, I don't have that much uni. Can I turn a second one of you? Can I also then, in that case, go to the housing, and can we upgrade and have a new house? Because I'm going to need more people. All right. So with us now making electronic street, I should mention that we are making right here 12 microchips, and over here we are using 3 microchips times by 4 machines, being 12 microchips to produce electronic street. Those electronic street we're going to be using in really for right now one area, and that is be going into this one machine to make servers. I'm going to be using 4 of the 12, so I am using a good portion of them. And, well, I'm about to use some in science as well. But before I do that, I want to free up these guys, because I'm pretty sure you're all done. So you're done. Yes. Okay, you can go away. You're done. Yep, you can go away. You're done. You can go away. You are processing the last little stragglers through. Once that's done, this area is done. Once we've processed all the microchips here, which probably won't take too long, I want to, well, convert them into electronic street. And then this little system here, making servers, I just want him running. I want him to consume all the electronic street here, so that way I don't have to move them around. And once that's done, well, then I should be fine, and I can then, well, probably either put these in server racks, or maybe we find some other use for them. All right, so with that done, I do want to take the opportunity to throw in some cobblestone there, and I'm going to preemptively pave all that, because I know all that's going to go away very soon. All right, so that's going to be our plan here. Next thing I want to talk about is science. Yeah, science. We have our science build over here, and I have done a number of things when it comes to science. Back in update 2, I did publish, where is it? Upgradable labs. Published some upgradable labs. Lab stage 4 is what we'd be looking at right now, because this has... Come on. Well, this has the telescopes on it, so this is the current stage, and if I take this, we can see that, well, this is an update 2 blueprint, but it very, very closely matches what we have here in update 3. My update 3 blueprint is slightly modified, it's slightly improved, and that's what I want to be using. So if we go over to, well, I don't even need to find it, I've already pasted it down here, because I really don't want to put this over the top of what I have. It's going to be far too risky, because I've done far too many modifications with bringing things in directly via belts, rearranging belt heights and all sorts of things. So pasting this over the top would be potentially suicide. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to follow the directions that are included with the blueprint, and the first direction is nothing to do with the blueprint, but it's to do with this box. Can I move you over 2 tiles? Yes. Can I build you? Can I then cut this belt here, cut this belt here, cut this belt here? Because currently I do not have any sort of alerts on my recyclables. So if and when, more a case of when I am outputting recyclables too fast, and they can't get out on the belts, well, I won't have any idea that they've backed up inside the recyclables collection area. So I want to be able to have, well, preferably 2 belts coming out, and I also want to have some alerts. So I want to run through a box, which we're doing, and can I have you notify me if you're greater than 25%? If you're greater than 25%, that means I've got some sort of backup. It's going to be time that I need to look at this very soon, so I want to have a very, very low alert on that. Next thing I need to do is I obviously need to delete this belt. It sort of goes right through the middle of the build. Then according to the instructions left for me by myself in my blueprint, little description, I need to remove the ghost retaining walls. I also need to remove the belt that's with the ghost retaining walls. So I need to remove that and that. Cool. Then all I should have to do is take this and basically put it over the top. So we're going to copy just the bottom half so I don't ruin anything above this. And I need to paste this right here. So with that done, it's just a case of building machines. I don't need to bring in electronics number 2 because that's already coming via a belt. So it should be a case of build all that, and then I need to upgrade a lab. Now, to upgrade the lab, I do need to have 96 of the next tier of lab equipment, which is going to be a bit of a problem. And it's also why I'm going to change you to can export, and then tell your friends the same. And then I actually want to pause the belt, because I need to have 96 science available to actually get this upgraded. I also want to set you are set to import cargo. I want to make sure that we keep importing the existing science, the existing red science that I have just deleted off the belts into this machine. This machine is just going to be unfortunately without science for a little while, and you guys can't access that, so I need to turn that off. And you are going to probably be this. Maybe they can access that one. No, that's 4 tiles. I don't think they can access that one either, but they're not complaining yet. So what I want to do is I want to upgrade you. Now, you're going to require me to have 96 science. I have, you know, a little bit stacked up in these, but not an awful lot. The other thing I want to do is I want to talk about science itself, because up until now, most of the sciences have been fairly simple maths-wise. You make 24. You need 12 to make 12. So obviously it's a 2 to 4 ratio or a 1 to 2 ratio. You make 12 and you consume 12 to make 12. That makes life nice and easy. Over here, we actually consume 16 to make 16. Which means, as you need to have, well, currently at this stage, you need 24 science, but we're about to hit the upgrade, and when that happens, you actually need 48 science. And if we take 48 and we divide it by 3, that happens to be 16, being these 3 machines here are running 1 lab at full speed. The other lab, on the other hand, gets nothing. He always gets nothing because I just can't afford to run 2 labs at the same time, not without an awful lot of upgrades to an awful lot of machines. So you now need 48, which means these 3 machines are dedicated to this 1 lab. Also means I'm producing 60 science per minute. Yep. And if I go look at the tech tree and I look at what we're doing currently, which is vehicle pollution. Oh, what's this? Number 9? Number 10? Number 9. We currently have a minus 32 pollution from vehicles. This will give me another 4% to bring up to minus 36. But I have just unlocked the next tier of research. So I can now do things up here, which means straight away, I actually want to do the next tier of robotics assembler. I want to do the next tier of microchip production. I also want to do the ship engines plus the ship upgrade, ship engines plus the ship weapons. So Mr. Shippy, actually no, can I change some things? Can I remove that? Can I remove that? Yep. Can I do that? Can I then get 30 extra vehicles? 30 extra vehicles means I can have a much more larger dedicated digging crew that can do a lot more damage. On top of that, then we're going to do... we can do medical. I want to get medical done. I want to get medical out of the way so I can just finish off the food build. Then we're going to get microchip production Mark II. Then we're going to get Mr. Shippy's upgrades. They're the only researchers I want for right now. The only researchers I need for right now. There are other researchers that we could look at. Like I could go and get electronics 4. I could go get titanium processing. I could do solar panels. I could do super steam. Yep, I could do a few things, but right now I'm not worried about any of them. They can sit by the wayside. I do want to cancel that, which probably empties out my whole queue. It does. Cool. Can we do... Where are we? I want to do vehicles, then the assembler, and then microchips. No, medical. Then microchips, and then finally ship weapons. Okay, they're the research I want to get done for now. But my very first research is 13,000. No, 8.6 thousand, and we're making 60 per minute, which is 8600 divided by 60. 60 is 14.3 minutes, which is 14.3 months. So if I divide that by 12, it's going to be 12 years. It's going to be basically 1 episode. Normally, I found my episodes are about 12 years long. So 1 episode to get 1 research done. Research is going to slow right the way down. Very, 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 very slow. I do want to pause you. I do also want to click the upgrade button because I need to have this upgraded eventually. And that's the first thing I want to do. Next thing I want to do is find out what's wrong. Nope. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, you finished doing this. All right, can I have a fill designation up to here and across to here? And then can I go back to your tower? I go from your tower back to the front lines. And I can see you've been told anything in this area is your area. Cool. Can I have you guys just temporarily help out and remove this hill? I need this hill gone, so as I don't really want to drive you all over the map, can you just, for right now, just start working on this? It's going to take you a minute or two, but realistically, the hill's going to go one way or another. So can you just start here? All right, you do have a couple of dirt boxes for dirt only that you can export into, so that should solve that problem. And yes, and then have some rock dumped in here just to finish this guy off. Hey, high amount of recyclables. Excellent, because I'd forgot all about you. Cool. Can I get my recyclables belt? Can I bring that to here? Go up a tile. Can I go to here? Then can I go down and into that? Yeah. Okay. Can I have that belt done, please? All right. So that'll be my recyclables, which is dump them on the existing belt. And We just need to leave the science to run. Do I want to flip the belt? I guess not, because maybe eventually you'll have enough parts in one of these machines. No. Part number's never going to increase. Okay. That's right. You can just sit there with an upgrade symbol on you forever. You eventually get there. All right, so that'll let me dump my recyclables, hopefully. Yep. There's the belt being empty right now. That should solve that problem. All right. Next on my list is I want to talk about maintenance. Yeah, I want to talk about maintenance because maintenance is probably one of the biggest costs you have in captive industry. So can I pin you? Can I also pin you? Can I then go over there? Can I also pin you? And can I grab one of you? Cool. All right, maintenance 1. Maintenance 1 requires 24 gears. 24 gears, if we come over here, cost me 12 steel. So I need to have 12 steel for 480 maintenance 1. Now, on top of that, I also need to have some 12 electronics. So 12 electronics is going to be half this amount. So I need to have, for 12 electronics, I need to have 12 pieces of copper and 3 bits of rubber. So that means for maintenance 1, I need to have 12 steel, 12 copper, and also 3 rubber. Okay, that's easy. That's the easy one. Maintenance depot 2, a little bit more complicated. I have 18 gears. We already know 18 gears equals half that in the amount of steel, so I need to have 9 steel. On top of that, I need to have 12 electronics 2. 12 electronics 2 is this machine? This machine. This only outputs 6, so I actually need twice this amount. So I need to have, 12 PCBs, I need to have 24 electronics, and I also need to have 12 poly. So 12 poly costs mainly sand, so we're just going to call that sand. I need some amount of sand. Whatever it is, doesn't really matter, it's sand. On top of that, I need to have PCBs. PCBs, if we have a look at this, I need to have 12 PCBs to make 12 electronics 2. So this outputs 12. That does make this math at least a little bit easier. So this needs some plastic. Plastic is basically a refinery it's a refinery process. So I'm not too worried about the cost of the refinery process. I'm more worried about the ore cost for a lot of these things. I also need to have 6 glass. 6 glass is mainly sand again. So we're going to just call that just a little bit more sand. On top of that, I need to have, to make 12 electronics 2, I have 12 PCBs. 12 PCBs cost me 3 copper. So I also need to have 3 copper. On top of that, I need to have 24 electronics 1 to make 12 electronics 2. And if we go back to this machine, we can see that's going to cost me 24 copper and 6 rubber. To make 24 of these, to make this recipe twice, to then make this recipe once, to then finally make our electronics 2. So that means I need to have 24 copper plus the 3 copper from here. So that's 24, 5, 6, 7 copper. I need 27 copper. I'm going to need 6 rubber. I also need some sand. I need some more sand. I need some chemical stuff. And I also need another 9 gears. So my grand total is, for maintenance 1, I need to have, I have 12 steel plus 12 copper and 3 rubber. Okay. For maintenance depot number 2, I need to have 9 steel. I also then, for this guy, need to have 27 copper. Plus, I also need to have 6 glass and 6 plastic. And also, I'm going to need to have 12 poly. So it makes maintenance 2 cost a lot more copper, a little bit less steel, and also a bunch of sand with some limestone and some other things thrown in there to get maintenance 2. That's going to be important because heating escape does not close all these windows. Can I please close all these windows? Thanks. Because I have a small problem with steel. We're sort of at our limit. I can't really fit in any more smelters, that's for sure. And if it's processing at full speed, I'm actually chewing through the ore far too fast. But what I can do is I can add more electronics 1 and therefore add more copper. And the reason I bring all this up is if we go back here, I actually have an assembly 4 right here with an assembly 3 right beside it. And we can see right here, I need to have 2 workers compared to 8 workers. So if I upgrade the assemblies, I need less workers. They're also going to output twice the amount of material because they're going to run twice as fast. That's also good to know. Also, I need 150 kilowatts here compared to 250 over here. So rather than running 2 of these machines needing 316 workers, I could actually have, 2 workers, and 120 kilowatts. Sure, I do need some teraflops, which means we need to get some infrastructure in to make servers and make data centers. As you can see, I already have the infrastructure. I have 192 teraflops. I'm only using 130 of them, so I have some liberty to upgrade a number of assemblers to the next tier, and that brings us down to maintenance. This needs 2.6 maintenance running at flat out speed, maintenance number 1. This needs 2.6 maintenance when running flat out of maintenance 2. But I need to have 2 of these machines compared to 1 of these machines. So actually all these numbers double. So it's 300 kilowatts worth of power down to 250. That's a saving. It's going to be 16 people down to 2 people. That's a giant saving. It's going to be double the amount. So we're just going to assume on a full 480 batch run of maintenance 1 or maintenance 2, I'd need for maintenance 1, I need to have 24 steel, 24 copper, and 3 rubber. For maintenance 2 machines, I would instead need to have 9 steel plus 27 copper plus 6 rubber, so the exact same. And I'd also need some glass, some plastic, and also some poly. So upgrading things to the next tier when it comes to the assemblers, it seems to make sense to upgrade them and save myself workers, power, and move more of my maintenance costs from steel across to copper, because I have excess capacity at the copper. So that's one of the first things I want to do. Second thing I want to do is confirm you're definitely emptying. I hope so. Second thing I want to do is I want to look at maintenance itself. So maintenance itself, I have the industrial edict to have my maintenance reduced by 30%, which is important because if we get a baseline number, and I like using set numbers like a statue maintenance happens to need 10% maintenance. Now, if I have 10% plus I have the reduction from the edict, that brings me down to 70% maintenance. So this is at 6.6, which is 66% maintenance. Why is it so much lower? That is because, well, I have a global effect of a couple of statues maintenance. They're going to drop the number down by another, well, combined total of 6%. So that's good to know. And the way we get that is we have our first one is you reduce the maintenance cost by 4%. And then the next one does it by half that amount. So we go from 4%, we add another 2% on top. So if I bring up some math really quickly, we first one does 2, does 4, the next one does 2, the next one does 1, so I'm now up to -7, I'm currently -6, so we know the next one's not going to be worth nearly as much as the first one, or the second one. The one after that would be plus 0.5, so that brings me up to 7.5. One after that would be plus 0.125, which brings me up to 7.63. Yep, next one would be half that again, which is plus, I don't know, 0.625-ish, which is 7.69, which is nice. And how many am I up to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All I can tell you is if I had 2 more, I max this out at -8, which is what I need. I need 8 of these total. So what I want to do is, as we now have a giant building with a giant telescope, I need to study something. Obviously, as maintenance is very important in capital industry, I would like to study maintenance. To do so, I need to have a decoration. Decoration, no, it's forestry, decoration, it's under one of these. That's surfaces. This one. I would like to have the statue maintenance, but I want to have the gold edition because, of course, if you need to study something, you need to study your maintenance. You need to make sure that you're studying golden maintenance. And this is a little bit expensive to build, but I have the money, I have the time, and more importantly, I have the union and the resources. I don't have any resources now, but I did have the resources. Yeah, so I want to get both of those built. Now, they're going to need fuel gas. Conveniently, I happen to be making right here just a little bit of concrete, and that little bit of concrete needs a little bit of fuel gas. So I'm going to grab my fuel gas pipe, and I want to grab it from there, or I want to grab it from here. I want to grab it from here. Can I take this belt? Yep, can you move back to there? Because you've intentionally stayed up to then drop slowly. Except I'm definitely not building anything below there anymore. So can I have that go there? Alright, can I grab a pipe from here? That tile. We can go into this tile, I think. No, I want to go to this tile anyway. Okay. Can I have you go up to height number 5, hold down shift so you're on a straight line. We'll come to here, we'll bounce over. I said over. Okay, take the pipe up and over. Just pretend like it's a real thing that you need to physically move up and over, and generally that gets you to the desired angles that you want. There you go. Up. Come on, up and over. Up and over. You had it, you keep having it, and I think about clicking it, and then you change. I can just block underneath, which then forces the issue. Or I can fiddle with it. Okay, can I come to there? Can I come to... not there, so it'll have to be here. And then from here, can I hold down shift and can I go to Shift, 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 shift. No, okay. Oh, yeah, I can get to this corner. Okay, can I get from that corner any further? The game says no, but I think the answer is yes. Can I come from here to here and then there? Oh. Hey, we can go over. Okay, can I remove that part? Alright. Can I then come from here down to ground level? And then can I come around the back? And nope, I can't. There's a machine in the way. Alright, well, machinery is very important, but you actually make assembly parts number 4. I can live without those because we don't use those nearly as fast as we use the other ones. And you're in the way of my statue. Okay, can I plug that into there? Can I then take my fuel gas onto here? Can I get both of those built? Can I get all of that built? And that piece there built? And can I get that built as well? Alright, so that should be able to bring my fuel gas over. It should plug into my couple of statues. And they're built, they're ready. We can now statue the wonderful, very important, golden jewels of maintenance. Yep. And I have a global effect of 6, but when that fuel gas gets here, you should light up. And I have 7.5, and that's our new total. So I have a 7.5 reduction overall, which again is just brought down my maintenance across everything in the factory by just a little bit. Can I come into here? And I don't know whether we're going to see any sort of movement on this graph whatsoever. It should be a little bit of movement, but can I turn off that? Okay, so we're at, I don't know, March, somewhere here. Yep, somewhere here. Okay, so that is 1 statue, 2 statue, 3 statue, 4 statue. I said to get my full bonus and have 8 statues. So we're going to come over here and we're going to dump down 1 statue, 2 statue, 3 statue. Can I put you like here-ish, here-ish, here-ish? Do I want them any further back? If I want to put pumps and dumps here, I need that many tiles. So can I put you back a little bit? Can I put you back a little bit? I put you back a little bit as well. And can I put you back a little bit? 3. That's all. Okay. Are they lined up? Don't know. It's close enough. Well, actually, they're a different amount forward and back. Can I just move you back 1 tile? I think I prefer to have the extra tile than not have the extra tile. Alright, so then I'm going to have the trucks come build all these. Sure, they do cost, 1,000 copper each. So how much copper do I have? 3.68. It's basically empty now. It's all gone. Concrete slabs, we should be okay there. Steel, we should be fine. And construction parts 3, funnily enough, we'll be fine. All right, so with that being done, can I grab my fuel gas? My fuel gas is coming out to these 2. I would like to... Oh, look, there's already a dent in the pipe. Oh, can I bring that out? Can I bring that to height number 4, please? You are at height 4. Okay, can I go to height 5 then? And can we come to here? There's a little army of trucks to go. Can I go to... Actually, can I just go straight to here? And then can I run all the way through to this guy? And then we'll drop the pipe directly into you. Yeah. Can I get that built? And then can I get another pipe from here to here, and here to here, and here to here. Alright, so that should be 4 more statues. That should give me the max bonus of 8%. And the only thing I need to do is I need to make sure they can have access to all materials. One of the things that I don't think I've given them access to, I haven't, is concrete slabs. I limit it to just 1 truck, so that way I could pave the world, and only 1 truck would be doing it, not everybody doing it. So with that done, you should get a whole lot of concrete delivered fairly quickly, or I could just move it across here with uni, whatever. We're still moving across copper and other things, but they should be up and running fairly soon. Alright, can I talk about this? So over here we have depleting ring. Can I have you upgraded, please, so we have a little bit more storage? Can I find a fuel truck? Fuel truck. Because there's a lot of people without fuel. Alright, what I need to do is I need to come back to this process. Alright, this process we looked at a long time ago. I need to eventually start producing the fuel for the nuclear reactor Mark II. I can feed that with either normal uranium rods or you can feed them MOX rods, but I need to have a certain amount of spent MOX, being the bad stuff, to get the next tier of reactors unlocked, which all the way up here. I need to make 60 fuel. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to make 60 fuel and then shut the system down. And the way we make the fuel is we take in some spent fuel, which I have a very full box of, plus I have this one still filling up. We then add some acid to it, add some glass to it. This will give me back a reprocessed uranium, which we can then dump back these machines. If I have 2 of those, that gets me back another half a unit worth of uranium. So I just get to stretch the existing uranium just a little bit further. That gives me some plutonium. The plutonium gets mixed with some depleted uranium, and that gives me a Mox rod. And I also get back the fission products. The fission products just go into storage. They sit in storage after 100 years. Then I can put them through a crusher, and they turn into recyclables. So I want to have this process. I need to have this process if I'm going to turn this on. But the plutonium itself, I don't really want to have plutonium laying around the place. Not just at the moment. So what I want to do is, I want to do 2 things. I want to make sure that this box is capped to only accept 80 fuel in for when we turn this process on. On top of that, I want to delete everything I got here. So can you go away, can you go away, can you go away, and can you go away? Because I actually want to have another nuclear storage all the way up here. Can you be storing, not that one, can you be storing plutonium? Yeah. Because what I'd like to do is, actually maybe flip you. No. I guess you find that one. Right, what I want to do is I want to put my Mox rods on the outside, because I'm going to have to access them from outside. I also want to put you back in here somewhere. Okay, I need at least a few tiles to get past. Okay. Can I bring my flat belt of my wonderful brand new fuel type out to here and plug that into there? Can I also get my depleted uranium that needs to come from this box? Come on, this box around the back. Then I need to have my fission products. Sorry, my plutonium. Plutonium and run into that machine. After it's run past that machine, I'm going to run into here, into this storage. And what I like to do is, I like to get all this built. Can I spend some wise uni? Can I spend some uni on that so you can get built and filled? Can I do some uni on that? You are still paused for the moment because you're not built, because concrete slabs, there are none. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. Uni for you. What's actually copper? I'm out of copper, am I? Yeah, I am thoroughly out of copper. And I've just looked down here and I realized I'm not tracking an item. Can I start tracking servers? Those. Cool. Back to maintenance. All right, so we upgraded in March-ish. Yep, so we can see I went from 1.6 down to, well, it still says 1.6. But it's slightly lower. It is slightly lower, and that's my 4% I saved, 3% I saved, whatever it was. We're up to 7.9%. So I just need to have both of you done. You need to have 130 copper. You need to have slightly more, about 400 copper. So once they're done, we should be good to go. Back over, nope, it's not to you. I'm going to go to you. You are waiting on concrete slabs, which is fast on producing them. I am consuming them pretty much. Okay, can I pause that machine and that machine? So I'm consuming 48 slabs for every single machine, and you guys make 48 slabs each. And you're short on water? The pipe's backed up. Shouldn't be. I don't know what you were short on for half a second. Maybe I just didn't see the bar going across the bottom. Either way, I make 4 lots of 48, and you were consuming 4 lots of 48. You were only consuming 24, which was normally enough for me to fill up boxes slowly over time. But in saying that, we just put down several stations of maintenance, which all require a shit ton of bricks. Also, we put down a nuclear waste storage, which also requires a shit ton of bricks. So that's going to have to wait a minute. Do I risk it? And I can. Can I unpause you? And then can I unpause you? Because the very first plutonium we're going to be making, which is only 1 per minute, is going to flow up here at the rate of 1 per minute and get consumed into Mox rods. That's fine. I don't technically need to have this built prior to that point, but I'm definitely going to increase the priority on it. And then I'm also going to increase the priority on my one. So it becomes a little bit more important as, we get all the construction projects done. All right, so with that done and that done, I need to come back to this. This is now all done from the looks of it. Yes, and I doubt any of you have concrete, but maybe you do. Can I remove those? Can I remove those? Can I remove that? Can I remove all of these guys because I don't need them anymore? You are empty, so I don't need you anymore. So can we also delete that and that and that, and I can get that little balancer destroyed as well. Right, this box is empty, so I can get you and you destroyed. I happen to have 800 servers and counting, and what I want this guy to do is I just want him to burn out this box. So as soon as this box is empty, and okay, notification when you're actually empty, as soon as the box is burned out and turned into servers, then we're going to retire all this because we have a different location where we're now making servers. So that should solve that problem. Speaking of other locations, I should go look at our little mega project we had over here on this hill, which is waiting for somebody to come dump some rock in it. Yeah, I don't need to dig any of those tiles. Okay, and somebody come in and dump some rock in there. We have a couple of teams, but I need just rock. I'm not going to settle for rock and dirt. At least I'm not going to just yet. And yes, you're in a rock area only, and you're in a rock only area only. So they should have the option to drop rock in here if somebody feels like it. Oh, actually, the other one. Okay, can I go back to you? Can I go to you? Can I go to you? Go back to your location and edit area. And can I do all of that? Yeah, up. Here's somebody now. Just put a little bit of rock in the holes. Make the ramp nice and even, nice and flat, nice and straight. I'm going to have a problem. No, I need you to go that way. I'm going to have a problem over here where I'm going to have to come back with a D-boy and just trim this corner because, well, it's the only way I can get a double angled designation. Yeah. You'll see it when it's built if you haven't seen it already. Okay, so I can't store all the vegetables, which is a sign that obviously I need to consume more or process more. So we're going to change you out for, let's go with wheat. Let's go with wheat for right now. Just change over one crop. That should help things out. Meanwhile, where are we? Okay, you're done. I don't have these ghosts anymore. Yep, and you should get through this hopefully reasonably soon. Wrong one. I want to look at that one. Yeah, I don't like my chances. So what I need to do is I need to, well, basically leave this episode here. We have made a decent amount of servers. Oh, I also need to get rid of you. Can I get rid of that graphite and that graphite? Yep. So now the graphite comes in for the right, travels over left. Eventually it needs to make its way through more smelters so we can stop burning off the coal. But as all the problems I have, except the chicken messages, are things that I can wait for the next episode, I'm going to leave them quite graciously to the next episode. We are producing the next level of science. We are making some science tick over. I do have done a few levels of infinite research, so I get all those deleted off the list. I also have data centers up and running. The next level of research is up and running. The MOX labs are up and running. Also, electronics 3 are up and running. And up basic computing, we've done that one. The other basic computing, we've done that one too. Luxury goods, we've done that as well. That vastly shortens the list. List of possible options for our next one. But next episode, I need to come back. I need to finish off food. This is only partially running at the moment. I'd like to have it, well, as fully running and as automated as possible until we finish the Medical 3, at which point, well, yeah, I'm just going to swap everything over to Medical 3. But like I said, what I need to do is I'm going to leave this video here. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Do hope you've enjoyed with these up and running. Yes, next science unlocked. The jewels being studied. Well, we all know that only the sky's the limit. But with all that said and done, as I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed. See you in the very next video. Bye.